What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you in public? The one that still makes me cringe. Sitting in a pub and a lady sits next to me and asks me if I work in Sainsbury's. I laugh and say, God no. I have a real job. Hear several loud gasps behind me, turn around and there's a table full of people in Sainsbury's uniforms. This amuses me, but it also makes me think how you were then. I think you didn't get away too easily with your real job. Walked dog shit through a pub once. Everybody soon found out it was me when the barmaid demanded we check who has stood in shit. This reminds me of the fact that I, too, suffered this, but I didn't realize it and I went to school with him, with shit. Let's continue and forget about this stupid incident. I walked it through a house viewing once. Entering school with a shit is bad, but entering your own house with a shit is even worse. I'm really trying to figure out if you guys are serious or just kidding because this is really embarrassing. Let's go to the next one. I was looking at books in a charity shop and turned round. An old lady had been standing right behind me and got surprised by me turning round. She fell over into a pile of bin bags face with tears of joy. But she really shouldn't have been standing so close to me to start with. Probably that in old age you don't think properly anymore and that's why this happened. I did this on the first day of a new job. I don't think anyone noticed, or I was that new guy who smelled of shit. I was sitting at my desk in an open concept office and thinking, what is that whiff of shit I keep getting? Eventually I realized the bottom of my shoe was absolutely covered in dog shit and I had to scrub it clean in the bathroom sink without anyone noticing that the new guy is filthy. This is worse than walking around your own house with shit, embarrassing man. I was walking out of a train station and fell down the stairs, twisting my ankle when I was about 20. A man about 80 years old was the only person that stopped to help me up. It was proper painful and embarrassing. This doesn't seem so embarrassing, but painful, I believe you. Driving in Spain once in my younger, more self-conscious days, I was desperate for a piss but the area we were in was a bit built up, not a town but not rural either, so there was nowhere to pee as there were too many people around and, being a good Brit, I didn't want to be seen parked up, English number plates on the car, weeing in a lobby. I know, ridiculous right? But what would the Queen think when she read about it in the papers? Happily I saw a garden center so stopped and ran in assuming they'd have a loo. Obviously they didn't, but out the back was a scrappy area with a single tree that would just provide a bit of privacy for easily embarrassed me to wee against. So I dash over to it, check left, right, behind and in front, and to my relief, discover I'm alone and can finally get some much needed relief. As soon as I get into mid-flow, with no going back now, a group of parachutists start landing all around me as it transpired that I was in the middle of the local flying club's drop zone. I can say that this was really embarrassing, and yet how you managed to get there, it still seemed impossible. In the end, that doesn't matter anymore. I had to pull over to go to the toilet driving back one evening, yay IBS, so I left the car on the side of a lane and went into some trees. A family cycling past happened to stop and come into the cops, and I looked at them face on as I was squatting against a tree having some of the worst diarrhea of my life. That was fun. What was funny, the fact that you had an explosive diary, or did you see them in front of you? Anyway, I think I understood myself what the phase is, haha. This was also the video with stupid comments on Reddit, and if you want more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and like because it really helps me.